Hi, my name is Lissy, and today we are taking inspiration from a drawing that I did quite a few years ago, actually. But to this day, it's one of my favorite drawings because I think it turned out so cute. And I want to draw something similar like this one with you today, except my plan is to draw an animal, and we are going to do it from absolute scratch, so from the very beginning. And yeah, it's a lot of things that we have to cover, so let's just get into it. The first thing that I want to do is say that my reference is from my Pinterest board, and I have a reference board for only animal references, and we are going to use this deer here. But since it's a video, I had to take a tiny screenshot of it, so my reference image is literally just this small, as you can see now. And I'm going to use a very big canvas. My canvas is 6,500 times 7,000. I have an iPad Pro, so I can make bigger canvases, but you can draw it on a smaller canvas. I have these two color palettes that I want to use for the drawings or the drawing. I am not sure how I will feel about it just yet, and I might will change my mind in the meantime because it always happens. But that's what we are aiming for. And what I am also aiming for is to only use brushes in my Lissified sample pack. So this should be a free sample pack that you can download from my Gumroad, and you don't have to pay anything for it. So I'm going to get my reference that I took a screenshot of. It's a very tiny image, but it should be enough for me to see the proportions of this deer. I have drawn this deer before on my Instagram. It was with pencils at the time, and I made it glowy. But this time around, I want to make it so. Let's get a proper sketch brush. I'm already one step ahead here. I'm gonna use Arnica to sketch. But that time around, I was only drawing it with pencils. So I'm going to observe the shape of this deer. I see the main body as like this kind of shape, and I'm already seeing that it's a bit too big. And I'm going to add the leg, which is a shape like this, and the other leg behind. For the front legs, I have a little chunk here that is like this, and the head is a sort of a almost a triangle shape if you put the nose in one, and the bottom in another is obviously a circle, and it's connected by the neck, which is a tubular shape like so. It's been a while since I drew animals, so bear with me. The ears are kind of a teardrop shape, yes. I almost didn't remember what an ear is in English. And then my most feared part is the legs. I am seeing a joint here, so I'm going to mark it out, and then have this leg about in this angle. I fear the legs the most because it's the easiest thing to make wonky. So yeah, and here's the little tail. And for the front legs, I feel like I did a bit of a too big chunk. I already put the joint in here, so I'm not really happy with that. I am going to see that there's the joint and then come down here, and I will compare these two legs in what angle they are. They are kind of like somehow like this angle, and so I put this joint here, and I see that this part of the feet is around like this. So I'm going to draw the feet like so. I will zoom out a bit so I can see what I'm doing more. And on the other side, we have the other feet, or foot, sorry. I would want to blame that I'm not a native speaker, but maybe I'm just a bit too low on coffee. And this is our very rough sketch. I want to remove some of these lines with some kind of more stronger brush so I can see what I'm doing. And I am going to suggest to you to remove the extra lines as well, so you can see how your drawing is coming along. I removed a bit too much here because this deer's front legs are like so. See, I told you the legs are the scariest part of it all. And let's see, a bit more edge to these areas to give it a more interesting shape. And the eye is really hard to see since it's such a low resolution image, and I'm not sure if I want closed eye just yet or a open one. I kind of feel like an open one, but we will modify it the way or on the way when we are going. On the ear, there's an inner part. We are just refining our sketch or a rough sketch a bit. I'm not sure if I want to add the horns for now, which technically makes it anatomically incorrect deer. But when you see what I want to do, then maybe it will make more sense to you why. Because what's in my head is a complicated design, and I'm worried that the horns will take away from that design. So what I want the deer is to be around this part, and I'm going to flip my canvas. It's always the scariest part, but I think it looks cute and okay, so it should be fine. And on a new layer, I will show you what I want to draw, or what we will want to draw. I want the deer to reach for branches, just like on the reference image. But these branches have like magical fruits on it. I'm not sure if deer's eating magical strawberries that grow on trees, but this deer will definitely will reach for those strawberries that grow on trees. I'm not sure why I did that line. And I want to add a little bit more of the branches. Of course, there's only leaves here. That's why he has to, or she has to lean or reach for those strawberries, because there's only leaves on these branches. I'm so sorry. And in the background, I want to have more of these strawberry trees. I want to add the third strawberry because I like when elements are in trees or like in an odd number. And what else I want to do is that I want to add some grass here, some bushes in the background. And this is really just a sketch, so you have an idea of what we are actually doing. And some trees and maybe some light coming from behind here. But my deer is gonna be a light color. In my head, it's light. And on the front, I'm going to put it on a different layer. And maybe go with a more subtle brush. In the front there will be also branches with the same fruits and glowy parts that we are going to draw. And I was also thinking having some magical particles around the deer. So yes, this is our plan, and I hope that this makes some sense for you. I am going to turn off the layers that will bother me while drawing, and keep on the ones that are useful in the process, namely my deer. So my idea for the deer is that it should be a light color, like this light lilac color. But first I kind of want to make the background that is going to be mostly with this kind of dark blue or purple color. And I want to use a brush that is going to brush out the entire background. It was a really smart idea to sketch with the same color, by the way. I'm a mastermind. And I am going to add some of a different hue for this, so I feel more inclined to draw on it. It's nothing special. It's probably not going to be the final result. It's really just for me to feel out the space and make me feel like I want to draw on this background. So it's you really don't have to draw like this, like how or do it like this, how I did it. And I'm going to use the hornet brush to do the deer itself with the purple on a new layer. I am just going to go over the lines that I drew as the sketch. This is really just the base of our deer, the very base color. We are going to shade it and give her a bit of personality. But I would suggest you do the outlines of it as precise as you can, because it's going to be the base for our shading as well. And if you are not feeling confident enough to shade on a like freehand shade, so to speak, then you can just use the option to clipping mask on your base layer. I'm going to show you how. I'm not going to use that method, but you can do it. And if you clipping mask on it, then it's really important that your base is really, really crisp and the shape that you want it to be. Now it's only the neck left and the face. I'm only going to focus on the deer first and ignore the rest of the environment. I find it too overwhelming if I focus on the environment as well. So I'm going to focus on my main subject, which is the deer now. Why does this ear feel so big now? There we go. Now that we have the base shape of our main subject, the deer, we can move on to shading. So at this point, you can decide to clipping mask on your deer, in which case, even if I get out of line, like so, we'll only shade on the deer. So if you did your deer correctly and nicely, then you don't have to worry about accidentally getting out of line or ruining your shape. So I would suggest you do that if you are not very certain about how you can shade the deer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a really loose drawing. I've been dreaming about doing this for a long time, that I've been very focused on very precise drawings lately, and I just want to enjoy the process and paint. So what I'm doing is thinking about where there would be shadow on this deer. Obviously, there would be some shadow under the belly, behind these legs, and on the reference you can see that on the neck there is shadow as it curves, and here as well on the other side of the neck because of the light. But also pay attention that if you are doing the same drawing as me with the glowing fruits, there will be glowing fruits in the deer's face, and that will make it less shady. shady deer. It will be a less shady deer then. At this point, I'm going to turn off my sketch because I want to see what I'm doing. I want to know how my deer is coming along. I will use both lighter and darker colors and even some similar colors as the deer, and I'm just going to use very quick brush strokes to show that how the deer's shape is coming along. I will make some more intricate lines and more darker lines where I think that there should be deeper shadows with a smaller brush. And I want to indicate that this is a leg that's behind. Again, I'm not using the clipping mask for this, so my drawing will be very, very loose, and I hope it will look very loose as well, because I just want a really juicy drawing for now. Some even darker, and add it here as well. And I'm going to go back to get some different colors on the deer. My friend Una would just say, and then you just whoosh, 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 and it's done. That's how she does the tutorials on my server, that is. And it's funny and relatable at the same time. You just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. This brush is really nice for this though, because it really is just whoosh, 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 and you don't really have to worry about it, because if you press lightly, then it just does what it's supposed to do and not do anything crazy, just these little dots. But if you press hard, then it fully fills. So that's a really nice thing, I think, about it. It's in the pencil set that I have, and I really like those pencil brushes. My experience is that people don't really like dry media in Procreate, but I think it's great. I really like dry media in Procreate. Everyone loves watercolor. I do too, but I think dry media is so underappreciated. You can make so interesting pieces with just a couple of strokes, and yeah, that's my personal opinion and experience, I guess, from selling brushes. My dry medias never do good as sales go. It doesn't matter how much effort and marketing I put into it, it just never does as good as the wet ones. That's just a little bit of insight, I guess, to being a brush maker. That's a nice line I made there. I'm going to move forward a bit of lighter color as well. I don't know why I put light there. But yes, I'm trying to make shapes now to mimic the deer and the deer's fur as well. So I'm starting to make smaller strokes of juiciness. And I'm intentionally going out of the line that I made as the base, because I just like it more that it's not so strict. I'm going to turn my sketch back on because I want to see where the ears are properly and put some shading on the face. On the deer's leg, the fur is super short. Well, the entire deer's fur is super short, but I am not making her fur super short here. And if there's something that you don't like that you did, then you can just go back with the base color and paint over it. I think I'm soon happy with how the textures are coming along. Maybe it's a bit too dark on the neck. And some of these details are too in your face. And I want to try another brush with it as well to see if I would like it more. No. So I'm going to try and experiment a bit. I wasn't planning on this, but now I'm feeling like adding a bit more of what I usually draw with this Arnica brush, which is one of the brushes from one of the Pouch of Secrets. I never do for Pouch of Secrets. I never add brushes that are in other brush sets. So sorry, I can't say anything more than just that it's in Pouch of Secrets. I still feel like that those dots are too dark for this nice and light deer. So I am going to go and rectify it and make it with a lighter color with the Hornet brush that I've been using before. I can really see it when I zoom out. When I'm zoomed in, I don't focus on it as much. But when I zoom out, I feel like it's too dark for what I want to achieve. Oh, I thought I was on the wrong layer for a second. The nose first. It's going to be a darker color of the same purple. If you pay attention, you can see that I'm using the same purple for the entire drawing. It's just a different shade of it. And there's a reason for it. I'm a big advocate for limited color palettes because they make your drawing pop more. So I don't want to use so many colors in one drawing to make the viewer more interested in my drawings. I switched to a smaller brush size, still on the Hornet one. And I'm trying to observe the muscles on the deer's face on the reference image, which is not the easiest task with this low resolution, but we are going to try. I also don't want it to look as realistic as this deer is on the reference image, because I want it to be a more of a cuter version. I am thinking this more to be an illustration than a realistic drawing. It looks very out of context right now, but we must trust the process, that it will look better. I'm going to add some highlights to the face, but also I'm still keeping it in mind that I want these fruits to glow in red, so, or like a pinkish color, so I don't want to overdo the lights on it. I don't know why I keep painting over the shadow part that I already did, but today is one of those days, I guess. And of course, I had to pick one of my worst drawing days to be my tutorial day, because that totally makes sense. But at least it's, I guess, a relatable. I don't want this deer to look so happy though, like, or I don't know. Do I want this deer to look happy? Or is it just the shape? No, that's not the shape. It looks happy in my head, and I don't want it to look happy. It's in the eye, isn't it? It's totally in the eye. We also have highlights in the eye. Ah! Oh my god, nice berries. I'm trying to put my kawaii away from this, but yeah, let's make excited deer, I guess. So for the background / environment, I want to use blue, and I want to use this hornet brush that I have that is now on the max size. Oh, it's not on the max size. Let's put it on the max size. And oh, lovely. So we are going to put this layer in front of the deer first, and this will be the grass and just foliage in front of the deer. Don't worry about the background, that it's blending in too much right now. It really doesn't matter. I'm just making quick circles with this blue, and I'm going to use a bunch of different blues as well for this foliage. And this is why I didn't paint the other foot of the deer or the back feet, because I knew that I was going to do this kind of marks here. I'm going to turn this off actually and put a color in the background. Like so, because it started bothering me. It's nice for drawing the shape itself, but it gets a bit bothersome when you are trying to do the background. For me. I don't want to assume. And I will make smaller pieces of grass as well. You can either make these leaves kind of how I do it with circular shapes, or you can do these kind of leaves. But I like the circular ones more. It looks softer and in a way cozier for me. And there's a lot of mixing and blending now of these colors. I'm going to draw this entire bottom part with this dark blue actually, and keep adding on the same colors that I had. I'm still using the same brush, just quickly changed it that you can learn how to do anytime on my channel, because I made a video on it, how to modify your brushes. I think it's a very important tutorial to have, because not only me, but any brush creator that makes brushes, they usually make the brushes tailored to the usual size of projects that they are working on. Like my projects are usually really high resolutions. So for you, maybe if you have like not an iPad Pro, but like a normal iPad that I had before as well, that iPad might feel like that on a smaller canvas. These brushes are way too big already. So it's really important that you know that you can tailor these brushes to your own needs, and you don't have to use it the way that the brush creator made it for their own need. So you don't have to like use it the way that I'm using it for my own canvas and my own needs. You can completely modify them and tailor them to your own things. I just had an idea to make these longer kind of flower leaves. I'm not sure if they will look okay. So this was not in the original idea. This is just me right now being like, maybe this would look good. So I'm just going to put these in and then see if I will like it at the end. Just a bit of variation, I guess, to the scenery. As much variation, the same shape of leaf can actually give. And I'm going to make a new layer again. I will soon run out of layers, because even though I'm using a big canvas, my iPad is also not a super iPad or super tech. It will run out of layers soon enough, but I'm kind of used to working with wow, that was an amazing, I don't know, not even sure how to call it. My tongue decided to make a knot on it. So I'm going to make a bush in the meantime here. But my iPad is also not like all powerful, so it runs out of layers at some point as well. And at that point, I usually just duplicate my project and see if I can remove / merge some of my other layers. So, I save some layers in the meantime. We might will have to do this for this project as well, but obviously since we are not there yet, I can't tell. I really like drawing bushes like this. They are nice bushes, except there's only 2 of them, so I don't really like that, because I like when there's multiples of bushes, or like not bushes, but let's make a 3rd bush. I like when there's 3 of everything, or odd number, as I mentioned earlier. So let's make a 3rd one here. I can only draw very simple backgrounds. I don't know how you guys are with backgrounds. I am not an expert at drawing backgrounds. But the only time really when I do backgrounds is when I draw these kind of drawings where there's a foreground that is making the background look better. So I guess I'm kind of cheating it. Maybe that I should call this video how to cheat the background. Even if you don't know how to draw background, just draw dots and then smaller dots, and then the smaller dots become like little grass pieces, and then yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling now. Just don't want you to get super bored by just me drawing the same things over and over again, which is little circles and shapes. I hope you are not so bored yet of the drawing, and you are doing it as well. Don't worry if you're not. I like having bigger blobs on the bushes to show that it's a bush and not the same grass as in the front. And I'm going to add some trees in the background as well. I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to delete this layer to save on layers because I'm at layer 12, and at this size I can only have until 19 layers. So I'm going to add some trees, and I will consult my sketch on what I wanted to exactly do. Some dark trees here. I'm not going to overthink these three. Oh my god, why do I feel like I'm gonna quote myself on this in 2 minutes when I'm going to overthink the tree? But I'm just going to draw some dark shapes because it should not be the focus point of this drawing to have the tree here. And maybe add a branch to it to show that it's a tree and not just a line. Maybe another branch here. And a tree here, which will be hopefully not in the way for me later on, but we can never know. We can never know. This is the danger of just winging it, like how I'm doing it right now. Because I don't know, I just don't like drawing out the same things multiples of times before a tutorial, because then it doesn't feel, well, not saying that I haven't drawn this before, or not this, but like similar. But I don't like showing it off as like, oh, it's just so easy. It's like you just whoosh, 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 and then it's done. I want you to feel like that I am in the creative process as well, and we are creating together, and not like I'm like ahead because I already did this like 15 times. And I understand that there are some people who feel better about that. I am not one of those people. I am the person who has too little energy to practice multiples of times, and also I have no patience whatsoever to do something multiples of times, the same thing over and over again. That's why my Instagram looks as is, because I have no patience. Turning out to be a pretty sad drawing that that will be the only place where there's food for this tiny little deer. Anyways, I wanted to add a light behind, like But do I want to do that? Or maybe I want to add bloom to the deer. But maybe not with bloom, but we are going to use a brush to add bloom. Yes, we are really exploring our options here. Like, I have something from Lumi here. I just don't know which one. Oh, this is a perfect one for this. So we have this Lumi brush here, and this one could add a bit of bloom to the deer. Like so. But I want this brush to have no pressure sensitivity for now. So this is how we change it. Because then it will be, the lights will be more do I want to put it above? Oh yes, I do. So the lights will be more interesting slash more, looks more realistic like this for me. I did want to make the, just to make sure that you understand what my original concept, I did want to make the deer somehow magical with glow. But I wasn't sure if I wanted the background to be glowing or the deer to be glowing. And I also, since I am one of those hectic creators, I did not check which Lumi brush I have in this free set of mine. But this one is a perfect one for what I wanted. So I'm very gently touching my deer, by the way, with this. Because if I touch a lot, then it becomes a streak of a line streak. And this way I'm only doing the part of the brush where the particle effects show. And I want the particle effects to be all around. So I made my brush smaller, and now I'm a bit drawing on the edges to show that it's glowy from the edges as well. I like where this drawing is going right now. Magic is always good, I think. And if you follow me and you like me and my art, then you know that magic is awesome. I'm making some bouquet with the same brush as well. I am going to do an unholy thing. Oh, no, I will not. I am not brave enough to merge them in one layer just like that. I will duplicate and then merge. And make it a bit lighter, maybe. I don't like when the oh my god, I really like the idea of this kind of deer. I always check the colors in case there's a better combination that I didn't think about. And this one is one of my favorite color combinations. The pinkish, brownish color and the blue. I don't know, I just really like it. Okay, I'm totally going for it. Disregard whatever I said about purple. We are going completely pink. And fixing the drawing because now it's a bit not so great because not all colors went the same way as I wanted to. And I'm going to use the chisel brush from Dreamy Drawing Tools to fix it. This brush is for this kind of drawings, so it has to shine here. Not literally, but figuratively. On this part of the head, I think it's too dark. The top of the head. I don't like that I darkened here. So I'm going to remove that dark and make it so that he's glowing from the head. What else is there that I don't like? Here on the tail. It's too dark on the tail. And then this part I don't like. And I think that's it. The other parts I like. I'm going to darken the nose a bit though. Wow, oh, my iPad did the undo thing again. I don't know why it does that, but it's really annoying. It's not my Apple Pencil. I changed my Apple Pencil, so if I double tap, it's not doing the undo, but this. So it's not the not the pencil, but there's something that makes it undo all the time in Procreate, and it's really annoying, especially when I do like a long session of, for example, drawing hair. That's been my thing lately since I drew a lot of portraits. And I draw a lot of portraits and I draw a lot of hair with those portraits, and then the hair is just gone in 1 second that I've been working on for 10 minutes with one stroke. So it's really annoying. Anyways, I'm really liking how this is turning out now. So let's put magic behind this deer. Since we removed the purple from the deer, I am thinking, do I want a bit of purple here? This is test now. I am testing what color I want here. Because I might want it to be completely dark and be like some light is coming out from the forest, but otherwise it's just dark. Because this part has to be dark, I think, for sure. I am not too fussed about the trees not showing properly because they are there for a hint of forest. They are not there to be the main event. And now I'm thinking about the drawing that I did before about a little dragon in the forest where I did light coming from the background and I didn't like it. So let's not do the light. Let's just make blobs, even bigger blobs than the the ones we did for the bushes, and we might even going to do Gaussian blur on it. I have not decided yet. I was a photographer before I became a illustrator, and if you know a bit about photography, then you know that one of the things about or one of the most interesting things and artistic things you can do with photography is bokeh. And I really like doing bokeh with photography when I take pictures, and it somehow transferred to my art as well. So I like drawing bokeh. I feel like that if I'm going to do this, then these two should be in one group, and I will flatten it because best. And then I'm going to blur the trees too. I am fine with this. I think it looks good. And let's do a duplicate of my canvas again. And what I'm going to do is get rid of this group and make some wiggle room for myself to draw. I'm going to remove the sketch as well, on which I showed which one will be the or how we will have the branch in the front. And I'm going to attempt now to do this main branch, not with this color. Maybe it would help if I would have the sketch on. I did not realize I liked this brush so much that I will use it the entire time. I have not used it in any project before, and I only used it when I was doing the brush set itself, and I always make a bit of a session for myself to try to master the brushes that I have. And then, you get a bit jaded after a while when you use your own brushes, and then you keep using them for months, and then you forget how to have fun with them. And this one I really like now, so I think I should use it more. So I did the same as I did with the deer. I did make out the base shape, and I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did with the deer. I'm just going to shade the branches with a darker shade of blue, and for the leaves I'm going to make it a bit glowy. but I will not add a lot of detail to them. And I'm going to, oh, how cute, I put it in the group of sketches. I'm going to make my fruits with my monocolor, not my monocolor because it's too close to the deer. Maybe yellow. And I will do actual bloom on this. With the size and the burn. The size and the burn has to be bigger if you are using bigger canvas. So just be aware of that. And since we have that color there, we have to add a bit of that color to the branches and the face as well to show that we have some different colors going on here. Actually, I'm going to pick this color up and do this. These back leaves almost don't even matter how they look like, because I am going to hide them away. I should call this tutorial how to fake an environment, honestly. So this one is done, but I am not done because I also wanted to make little bugs or like flies of this color as well. Which are just little heart shapes. And then bloom. And I don't like this color anymore. I feel like it should be a different color, so it's not... maybe white, actually. Yes. No. Okay, I will decide on this when the foreground is done, because, believe me or not, we have a lot to work with still. Sorry. But I want to add, now that I'm looking at it, a bit of this in the background as well. Like there's little fruits in the background too. But like distant ones. So I'm going to draw these in the background. And maybe this is enough for me. I don't even need the other magical particles that I was going to add, because I'm going to do Gaussian blur on this. And it probably ties the entire image together just to have this. And let's work on the foreground. Don't judge what you will see now. We are going to draw the ugliest branches you will ever see. But just don't judge it for now. So you draw a branch and then you literally just draw shapes on it. And generally, if you are looking through a dark forest, these shapes will be dark. And this is a very, very loose interpretation of what you see in the foreground. Once again, if you are familiar with photography, then this is, if you are using, for example, f1.8 or f1.4, when the bokeh really happens and it makes a lovely effect of you are just peeking through the bushes. And I am also inclined to add some of these yellows as well here. It's the fruits. I'm not sure about this yet because it might be taking away too much from the main scene that we are looking at. And I'm going to add more here. All that work, and now we are covering it up. So once you are happy with it, or mostly happy with it, which is as much as I can get, is you do Gaussian blur, depending on your canvas. It's depending how much you have to Gaussian blur. And blur as much so you feel like that you are actually looking through bushes. I picked the wrong. I'm not sure if I want to do I do want to do the fruits. I think it's tying the image up together nicely. Except for this one, I think is too much here. Maybe I should erase with something bigger. And it's really bad that I don't like this branch here. So we have to rectify that. And how we rectify it is I am going to try and clone it. The background, since I already merged it. I said I was gonna clone it. Thank you. I don't think it's gonna work out. Maybe I have to go back a step. Yes, I will go back a step and I will see you when I fixed it. So I very quickly fixed the background. I just ended up drawing a couple of blobs over it and then blurring it the same way. And now I am going to look for areas to improve on, because overall I like my drawing, but I am once again not sure about the colors. So I am thinking if my original idea of purple was nicer than my pink right now, or like, I guess meat color, or I am not sure what color this is supposed to be. Or maybe I should do something more creamy. And these kind of doubts often strike me when I am done with a drawing, because I can't decide what would look best. And that's why I always end up with changing the colors at the end. And it's actually really bothering me that I am so indecisive with colors. I could probably get over this by doing proper thumbnailing in the beginning, but I have to confess that I am way too lazy, and I also use art to be my expression of feelings, and thumbnailing kind of takes away from that experience, so I don't do it. Anyways, yes, I will stop rambling now and let's finish up this drawing. I will want to add something more to this. Oh, look, my first screen recording just saved after like 20 minutes. No, it wasn't 20 minutes. Don't worry. But yeah, let's add something more. But what should we add? I wanted to add the little flies because I think they are really cute. But I'm not sure if they would pop as much as I think they would. Oh, especially like that I can't even see where I put the previous one. And at the same time, I feel like we don't need anything. Maybe I should just extend this shine that I made here. And yeah, yes, that's the way. Extending the shine towards the sky. So it's like the deer is being summoned from the skies. What is that? What is that? Sometimes my Procreate is so buggy and it makes so weird, like, pixels. Does yours do that? Like, honestly, what is that? Why is it like that? So, yeah, this is what we are going to do. Just use the luminosity to take over the entirety of the drawing. The deer is summoned from the skies to eat some of the delicious glowing fruit. Maybe he is the one who's making everything glowy. We will never know. I am going to use the ink brush, I think, and I'm going to use this super white to fix these mistakes of wrong pixels, because it's bothering me. I don't want black dots on my nice glowy deer. And we are pretty much done with our drawing. You know what is missing, right? Because I always tell you every time we are doing a drawing, we need a signature. So we are going to get my signature, and you are going to get your signature, and then stamp your signature right on the drawing. And we are done. And I hope that you like it. Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. I hope that you learned something new, or you just had fun, or you just enjoyed listening. And I will see you in the next one. If you do draw this and you like it, then and you share it on Instagram or any social media, please tag me at Licified and at hashtag it's Licified. And yeah, you can get the brushes on Gumroad and it's all free. But if you do like the brushes, then you can see which brushes from which set, and please consider maybe getting the set if you want to use for commercial projects as well. But yeah, that's it for today. I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hi, so it's the next day, and I feel like that the deer might be too big on this, and also that there was too much of the bouquet in the foreground to make the deer pop. So I am going to show you how to edit your picture to make it a bit better. First, I will have to remove this part of the deer and make a new layer out of it. I'm going to remove my sketches since I no longer need them. I will use 3 of my fingers, swipe down and then cut and paste. And this one will go together with the other parts of the deer that are connected to it. This one is an empty layer. And maybe make my deer a bit smaller in size to make a more interesting composition. It's really important that you sometimes take a break from your drawing and then look at it with fresh eyes, so you see these kind of things that I saw now. I also want to fix the foliage here since now it's holy. I am going to use the sample pack that I can't find right now. And this brush, same brush that I used yesterday, or well, 2 seconds ago for you. And just fill in the parts where the deer was, and I obviously didn't fill out properly. And also I removed some parts here from the front, and I'm going to make a little circular moment to happen here. I'm sorry if I sound a bit different today than yesterday. I will add some of these lighter ones as well. But yeah, I took a little break of the drawing, and today morning I felt like there was a stronger composition that I could do with this deer, which is putting more focus on what the environment is than just the deer itself. And that's why I decided that a smaller main subject would be more interesting. And I also removed these branches that I added. Although I still like it, I kind of like it like this, and I will do it a bit differently now. I am going to maybe just add some branches here but I am not sure yet if this will be my final idea either. I'm using complete black, and everywhere there's a little fruit, there's the blue dot. I am going to add more of this blue, and this time around I'm just going to use Procreate's by default brush from the airbrushing category. It's the soft brush, and you just pick the color and then add it. And maybe a bit more lighter as well in the middle to make it look like it's glowing. It's a very nice way to add some front or foreground interest to your piece, to just add some bokeh, and then I am going to try and blur my foreground branches. But I will just add some leaves to it, so it's not bare branches, but the ones that have some additional elements on it. It doesn't have to be super precise because they are going to be blurred, so you can't really see what's happening in the foreground anyways. But I will alpha lock it and pick the color for it, which is this kind of blue, maybe a bit darker blue. And like this, it's a bit more softer than going all this, and it doesn't bother you as much, and it allows you to look at the entirety of the image better than how I did it before. And also I see another spot where I skipped on coloring in the background, so I'm just going to fix that. And now we are really done, hopefully, with this image. I hope that you liked it, and that you will have fun drawing this, and that you enjoyed the little encore that I did for this piece. Have a really nice day. Bye.